everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by the Freedom Eagle, political news and commentary with a conservative lean. If you're a conservative, and even if you're not, you've likely seen former professional football player Herschel Walker on television quite often over the course of the past 12 months. And what you've likely seen is a man who not only supports Donald Trump, but loves and respects him on a personal level. Walker is such a ride-or-die supporter of the president that he was even featured during the 2020 Republican National Convention, using the forum to vouch for the president and sing his praises. Depending on your age, this could be all you really know about Herschel Walker and his relationship with Donald Trump. Some former athlete who rocks with the president. Okay, cool. Well, there is so much more to the story, like who is Herschel Walker? After all, you honestly have to be of a certain age to really know who he is, outside of old footage that you've probably seen on YouTube. And more importantly, what is this relationship with Trump that Walker often speaks about? This personal relationship that dates back almost 40 years. Many times Walker will make mention of this relationship during interviews on television, but due to the often short segments, Walker is never able to expound on the relationship, only to say things along the lines of, "I've known him for decades," or something to that effect. Politics and sports have intersected for years and years, and they intersect now more than ever. In this video, the Freedom Eagle will explore the relationship between Donald Trump and Herschel Walker, how it began, and more importantly, what Walker saw in Trump that has endured all these many years later.
Trump was creating a public persona, one that could be both funny and demeaning, arrogant and somehow in touch with the common man.
I sort of love and hate him at the same time. I mean, I think he has, a monumental ego.
He comes off as being very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Arrogant?
Yeah, he's arrogant.
I like him.
You do?
Man's got it made, got everything.
He often did this by picking fights.
He said, "I think Donald Trump is an artful liar. I think he is a greedy, vicious, and arrogant man."
Well, I don't know, is that supposed to be a compliment or not? I'm not sure.
The year is 1980, and while real estate tycoon Donald Trump is making big moves in Manhattan, completing the renovation of the Commodore Hotel, later to reopen as the Hyatt Grand Hotel, and obtaining the rights to develop what would later become Trump Tower in Midtown Manhattan, Herschel Walker is a freshman running back at the University of Georgia, leading the Bulldogs to a national championship. By the 1982 season, Walker's junior year, he is quickly becoming one of the greatest players in the history of the Southeastern Conference. By the end of 1982, he would officially cement his status as one of the greatest running backs to ever play college football. Three-time SEC Player of the Year in 1980, 81, and 82, Walker would achieve the pinnacle of individual honors in December of 1982, as he would be named winner of the coveted Heisman Trophy. Walker would move on to the pros in 1983, and his relationship with Donald Trump would begin. In order to provide context to this almost 40-year friendship, we must first talk about the short-lived United States Football League, commonly known as the USFL. While a few things set the league apart from the NFL, one of the most intriguing at the time was the fact that the USFL took collegiate juniors, meaning you could leave school after the conclusion of your junior season and play in the pros, something the NFL did not allow. While declaring for the NFL after your junior year has been commonplace now for a very, very long time, it wasn't a thing back in 1983. Another unique aspect, Walker was allowed to choose where he wanted to play, in large measure to maximize his value in respect to endorsements. Walker had his eyes set on Dallas or a New York team. Those were his NFL selections. So when it came time to bounce to the USFL, Mr. Heisman Trophy selected the New Jersey Generals. At the time, the Generals were owned by J. Walter Duncan, who had made his fortune in the oil business. But after the '83 season, Duncan sold the franchise to real estate tycoon Donald J. Trump.
First, we have Mr. Donald Trump, who is the visitor from New York City and the New Jersey Generals owner. Sitting with us, Mr. Marvin Warner, who is a native son of this great state and has got to be very happy with the big crowd we've got today. First, as the visitor, Donald, let's welcome you to the community of the USFL, and your intense interest in merchandising, I think, has been striking from the very beginning.
Well, thank you very much, Keith. It's great. I think they have 65,000 people, I just heard, Marvin, so I congratulate you. It's been really fabulous. We're very happy.
I think the general way that you have been presented in the media is money. You have absolutely declared that you're going to compete. You've competitive to this point, but you've got one more crop to harvest, perhaps, following the NFL draft. Is that the next phase that we see where the USFL owners are making their move for better people?
I think it could very well be, Keith, but the quality of the league, you see it just in the play today. It's an exciting game. The people are going wild. The quality of the league has made it exciting. The quality of the players has brought 65,000 people out to watch a game in Birmingham, Alabama. I suspect that Bear Bryant might be looking down on the stadium right now.
With the New Jersey Generals, Walker shined, gracing the cover of Sports Illustrated and earning the league's rushing title in both 1983 and 1985. His record, 2,411 rushing yards, during the 85 season catapulted him to league MVP honors. Herschel was the man, and it all took place under the watchful eye of our future president. As history now tells us, 1985 would be the final season for the USFL, and the league officially closed before the 86 season began. As for Walker's playing days, the Georgia and General star would move on to the NFL and sign with the Dallas Cowboys. Walker would play for 4 different NFL teams before re-signing with the Cowboys in 1996 and retiring from the NFL at the conclusion of the 97 season. Some 23 years after leaving football behind, Herschel Walker has not left Donald J. Trump behind. He also hasn't forgotten the impact that Trump had on his life in many different ways. In recent interviews, Walker has spoken about joining Trump and his family at Disney World many, many years ago. Walker, speaking of Trump, is just a normal guy with his family. Walker has also noted how Trump, during his time as owner of the Generals, would walk out of meetings if one of his kids needed something. Quoting, Walker has said the following: "He can be in the middle of a big meeting, but if one of the kids was on the phone, he dropped everything to take the call. He taught me that family should be your top priority." And while Trump has often been criticized for his bullying tone, Walker personally found him to be the opposite, citing how Trump has treated people, from Walker's own personal experience, as being one of the things he admires the most. When it comes to the professional and personal story of Donald Trump and Herschel Walker, and how their paths crossed in the early 1980s, loyalty seems to be the perfect word. There was a time when Donald Trump was the owner of a team, and a young Herschel Walker played on it. Back when Walker was just an early 20-something trying to make his way in the professional world. Several decades later, it's Walker who is going to bat for his friend in his time of need. While it can be in the mind of many to just hate the president, the young running back, who is now in his late 50s, is carrying the ball for Donald Trump, the businessman turned close friend and current president. At the time of this video, the 2020 presidential election has yet to be officially decided, although most signs point to Donald Trump only having one term. However, no matter how the chips fall, the story of Herschel Walker and Donald Trump is an interesting one, and a reminder that prior to running for president of the United States, Trump was a pretty well-respected and well-liked figure. Athletes loved him. Entertainers loved him. Trump rubbed elbows with anyone, and everyone was happy to know him. That is, until it became cool to hate him, just because their TV told them to. But one man has never left, and that man is Herschel Walker. So the next time Mr. Walker appears on your television and talks about Donald Trump, believe him. He has almost 40 years of personal stories. His stories are not the stories of an activist media, but rather the personal stories of a young athlete looking to make it big, and the real estate mogul and football team owner who helped to set him on the path to personal and professional success. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, we'll talk to you later.
Gotta be Walker. Touchdown.